Today marks 1 year since 4 inmates escaped from the Bibb County Jail. The jailbreak exposed problems with staffing, technology, and the jail building itself.
Since then, we've reported on what Bibb County is doing to improve their lockup. That includes approving millions for security measures and their first steps toward building a new jail. But how much has changed in the past year?
Maggie Fitzgerald sat down with a county commissioner to get his thoughts on conditions inside the jail in a special 13 Investigates.
We've seen no actual change in the conditions. That's what we've been doing. It's a terrible place, we all agree.
In the weeks after the Bibb County jailbreak, Sheriff David Davis put part of the blame on cell locks that didn't work. In November 2023, county commissioners agreed to dedicate $1 million toward immediate improvements. That included new magnetic locks for the oldest wings.
When it's closed, it's closed. It is several thousand pounds of pressure on that magnet lock and you cannot open it. And it also stabilizes the door because where those magnets are connected, they're solid.
Davis planned to use money from the inmate commissary fund. That means the inmates themselves would pay. The county tripled that amount in April, adding another $2 million. Meanwhile, the county is eyeing land along Lower Poplar Street as the site of a new jail. This spring, Mayor Miller told us it's part of a bigger plan for public safety.
I think that's probably the only place that we have in our inventory after these cells that you could have a potential complex. I'm also interested in expanding the 911 and the EMA center as well, so it gives you a nice little potential there for a complex.
We asked to speak to Miller and to Davis about their progress made since last year. Are those locks getting fixed? Has staffing inside the jail improved? And are they working together to push ahead on plans to add that new jail to the 2025 SPLOST vote? Both declined an interview and a request to give us a tour of the jail. Commissioner Virgil Watkins says he sees a disconnect between county leaders on the jail problems.
I know that over the past couple of years, they reported less to the county commission and I assume the mayor's office about the conditions and the progresses than I've ever seen before. There's just a general lack of communication.
So far, there's still no timeline for when and where a new jail could be built. And Watkins and others say they still have questions about conditions inside the current one.
We see a lot of fighting. You're sleeping on the floor. There's not a lot of control happening. I very much believe the comments that I hear, and I've heard it multiple times, depending on the wing that you're on, the experience can be vastly different.
Watkins says he's heard firsthand accounts from former inmates.
He'd been in jail for 6 years. He moved around a good bit, but Macon was by far the worst situation. We're only staffed with punitive measures and people with police powers. That balance is sadly something I've done a poor job and I feel in advocating for, but I still feel like there's a space for it here.
Watkins says Bibb County needs programs to support inmates better and to prevent repeat offenders. But he says those issues are overshadowed by staffing and pay concerns.
It's tough on the staff, it's tough on the inmates there. And again, that is the jail, no matter if we decide to build a jail tomorrow, that we'll be using.
Now, as Macon-Bibb County nears its next SPLOST vote in 2025, the jail's future could soon be up to voters.
It requires a good bit of mindset change. Like either we're gonna pay for these things and to the point where we're trying to see aggressive improvement, or we will stay where we are.
In Macon, Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
Mayor Miller told 13 WMAZ back in March that they plan to have public input sessions in the spring to discuss what should be included in the next SPLOST. On his list of priority projects, the new jail.